Well, this is the area I want to clean up today, right here along the edge of the pond. There's all these shrubby looking bushes growing up, and I was going to see if I could just yank them out with the tractor, but they're just like too grown up, and there's grass and stuff all in between it. It's going to be hard to get a good strap or rope or anything around the actual shrubs themselves, and it's really muddy along the pond edge too, so that's going to only complicate things. So I ran the string trimmer around a little bit real quick, but I think what'll make quicker work of this is if I hook the brush hog mower up to the back of the tractor and try to back over these bushes. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, well, I'm happy with that. That was like 20 minutes worth of work, and it looks so much better. I got plenty more I can do around here, but this was really the only section. It's kind of like our most visible section of the pond. All right, I'm gonna go over now to the hidden field. It needs to be brush hogged. If you saw my video a few weeks ago, I used the County Line subsoiler for the first time. And I wanna go over there, kind of check the progress and see if that area is dry enough now. It should be. We haven't had rain in probably 2 weeks. So if it's dry enough, I'm gonna go ahead and brush hog that field, and I'm gonna see how the subsoiler, helped the area drain out. It was really wet a couple weeks ago. So we'll head over there now and take a look. Let's go see what we're dealing with. This is the area that's the worst, and I'm frankly not surprised that it's still holding water up here. And this whole area needs to be regraded so that it doesn't hold water here like this. But the rest of the field was really wet when I brought the subsoiler through, so I'm curious to see if it's drained. It's funny, you can tell like that tire track there is still really wet. This is a big mound of soil that was lifted by the subsoiler. So I'm going to be on the lookout for things like that and try to fill those in with a bucket as I'm cutting through here. But yeah, I can actually feel under my feet. It's still somewhat soft right in this area, but that's kind of the same low spot as just over there where we saw all the mud before. And right in here is kind of the lowest section. Looks like it also gets morning shade, but you get out here and this all looks pretty good. So I'm going to try to brush hog all this. All right, let me just pause for a brief second and say thanks everybody for your support on this channel. I mean, all the comments and feedback and words of encouragement we get is really, I don't even know what words to describe it, but I mean, it is so powerful to hear from some of you that you're looking to do kind of the same thing we're doing or something similar. Some of you have said things like you're looking to quit your day job and acquire a property and do what we're doing. Let me tell you though, we haven't quit our day jobs, nor do we really have any plan to. This is a really big side hustle for us, and it's a lot of work. And I wouldn't say anything otherwise to try to sugarcoat how much work we have to do out here. But we enjoy it, and we're going to keep at it, and we're determined to grow this business. But anyway, appreciate your comments. Continue to comment on my videos. I read every single one of those, and when appropriate, I respond as well. And I want to share with you one other way you can support us. We now have these hats for sale, but I've got 7 colors across 2 different styles available for sale at woodstreefarm.com. I'll ship them anywhere in the United States and maybe Canada and elsewhere. I don't really know what's involved with shipping it out of the country, but we'll figure it out if you guys really want a hat. Any proceeds from those hats is going right back into the business here, so I appreciate your support. And with that, let's get back to work. All right, well, 15 minutes is all that took. There are definitely a few areas here that are still pretty soft, fortunately firm enough that, you know, there's no risk of getting stuck or anything, but I could feel it, and I can see some of the ruts that I created with the tires of the tractor. And right over here along the tree line, you know, just inside this tree line here is the second creek, smaller creek. It's not really a creek, it's kind of just like a little drainage ravine, but just inside this is where that little drainage area is, and along this wooded edge here is really soft, but it's overgrown enough. I'm going to try to do kind of the same thing I did along the pond and back into this and see if I can't clear some of this out. And like I said, some of this is really soft, but hoping if I can open this up a little bit, get some of that hot summer sun down on this area, and get this area to dry out, and then come fall I'll be able to come back through here with a subsoiler and try to kind of get this area to drain naturally by ripping everything up with a subsoiler and letting it sit that way through the winter. So I skipped a section because I stirred up some bees down there. At least I thought I did. They weren't aggressive, but I saw 5 or 6 of them. And when I went from an area from seeing 0 to seeing 5 or 6, I felt like I was probably getting too close to something. So it was really soft over there. Actually, I could see a bunch of bees. I don't know if the camera will pick them up. There's definitely something I stirred up because there's a bunch of bees flying around over there. And they're actually like the black hornet looking things. I don't know all of my stinging insects, but the other thing was it was really soft over here. You can see this mud right here. So, you know, I'll let this dry out a little bit more. We got several days of dry weather in the forecast. Maybe the bees will leave, and then I'll come back and do some more over here in a little bit. But I got this whole section up here. Reclaiming some serious square footage over here. And I could probably go in a little bit farther. There's a couple of bigger trees mixed in there. But all these other little shrubby looking things, I don't know what they are. I think that's the same stuff that's growing around the pond. Fortunately, they come down pretty easily. There's some gum mixed in there, a couple poplar trees. There's actually one decent looking poplar tree right in here. Let's see if I can take that out. It's a little big for the cutter. Let's see if I can take that out. I don't know, is there any other kind of tractor work that's more satisfying than bush hogging? I mean, all of this was so overgrown just a few minutes ago. Backed in there, cleared it out. And what's cool in here is that the canopy's so dense. Just inside here, there's next to nothing. And I bet this is like a deer bed down area, because just over there is a bunch of I know there's some briars and stuff over there, and it's all kind of cleared out here on the inside. Oh, sorry dear, I exposed your little hideout. I'm gonna go right over here. This is my property line this way, and this section, this row of briars and scrubby stuff is my property line, and then right in here is what I would like to be kind of a main access road to get over here, but it has always been too muddy to really use routinely. So eventually that's going to be kind of a major project for me. For today, I'm just going to try to run the brush hog through here and get this cleaned up. But yeah, I think, you know, maybe if I took out a couple of these trees and got some more sun in here, it would dry out a little better. But the issue is this whole hillside over this way slopes right down this way and eventually gets into the woods and then drains into my pond. So in order to build a proper road over here, I need some, you know, some serious drainage solutions so I don't inhibit the flow of that water downhill. Fortunately right now I think it's dry enough. I'm just gonna brush hog it and we'll see how it goes. Alright, well I don't know if you can see, but it's tore up in here from my tire tracks coming through. It's still really soft in here. The canopy doesn't give it that much sun until late afternoon sun. And the fact that, you know, we're right in the bottom of where a couple different slopes come together and there's just not enough kind of natural drainage to get the water going in that direction so that I can drain into the pond. So this area is just still really soft. I mean, it's firm enough. The tractor was never going to get stuck. I would even be comfortable bringing my truck through here right now. But I would love to have a more permanent solution over here so that I can, no matter what the weather, get the truck and the tractors through here so I can access the other part of the property. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions about how to address this drainage issue, I'm all ears. I'll tell you what I was thinking. If I were to kind of dig a trench and fill it with gravel and put one of those drainage tile things in there about 18 inches down, thinking that would basically create a French drain here in the bottom of this low part so that water can collect down there, hit the drain tile in the gravel area, and then the drain tile would take the water off in that direction. And then on top of that, I could raise this kind of roadbed area up just a little bit. I could either use gravel, or I was actually thinking I could use wood chips because I've got a mountain of it up at the front of the property. So if I was just to lay down, you know, 10, 12 inches of wood chips on top and had a good French drain underneath, I wonder if that would do it. You guys let me know what you think. I think that's about it for today. And I appreciate the support that everybody's been giving us. I've gotten over the past several weeks several inquiries from individuals saying, hey, I've been following along on YouTube and really like what you're doing. We're thinking about doing something similar. I've had people from Canada and from the Midwest, and those cicadas are really loud. You call them cicadas or June bugs? And like I was saying, I've got a couple different people who have inquired with me and asked me questions about why we decided to do this and what kind of resources do we recommend in research and doing something like what we're doing. And, you know, all in all, just the questions and the feedback and the encouragement is just really great. I love the fact that I'm putting in this work, doing these videos, and people out there are appreciating what we're doing and even considering doing some of their own things and are learning from our videos. I don't claim to be an expert. I've never claimed to be an expert in any of these videos. I'm just sharing what I think I need to do in order to make this property and this business successful. And you know, coming into this without any background in this at all, every day is a learning experience. Again, thanks for the comments, thanks for the emails, thanks for the direct message on Instagram. And that's a good point. Follow along. We're on Instagram, Woods Tree Farm. We're on Facebook, Woods Tree Farm VA. We're on all the channels, so if you want to connect with us, we're available. All right, so before I head out, I've got about less than 15 minutes. I am going to go over here. There's a tree that's down. I'm just going to push it up out of the way, and then I'm going to brush hog around it. Here we go. Woo! My seat's hot.